Welcome to the Filmmakers Lifestyle. I'm on vacation visiting my brother and his beautiful family in Oklahoma, and today we're learning how to make a movie in a day. If you follow these 3 steps, I guarantee you'll have a movie by the end of the day and you'll be able to have a screening for all to enjoy. Whether you're working with your peers in a group or if you're working with your nephews and nieces, getting them together to do something over a family reunion, I guarantee it's going to be a lot of fun and you'll have something you'll all be proud to share widely. I thought about this really hard and I've broken down filmmaking into just 3 steps. Step 1, pick a conflict. Step 2, shoot in sequence. Step 3, finish the movie. The first step is to choose a conflict. Now you can do this on your own as a director and direct everybody else, or you can do it as a group, which is much more rewarding because they have more creative control and therefore you'll receive more commitment. And if they've never done a movie before, you're going to need their help to do every little thing. All movie stories can be found in these 3 categories: big adventure, love story, or other. Let's talk about a big adventure. All big adventure movies are about saving the girl, to get the treasure, or to save the world. If you're with a bunch of boys, you're probably going to choose a big adventure. The next category is a love story. There's forbidden love, which is about love across cultures, or platonic love, which is about friends that are on a journey together. Unrequited love, which is about somebody having love for somebody else, but they don't love them back, and it's about that conflict. The final category is other, which has big adventures and love stories in them, but it focuses on a greater construct to bring the story together. And the first one is heist, and that's about the planning and execution of a big theft. The next one is a mystery, and that's about having people who don't know what's happening and they gotta figure it out. Next one is tournament, and this is about how there's a great competition between qualified candidates and perhaps the underdog wins and takes over. The next one is endurance. Now this one is about great suffering, such as a slave movie or a prison movie. The next category, legal fight. Now this is about how some people are coming together to bring justice to the economy or a community in some way so that they can have greater healing. And the final one, coming of age. This is about a group of young people or one person who's learning to find themselves through the trials and tribulations of learning to become an adult in those new relationships. So there you have it. Pick one of those categories. Perhaps you can pick an other category and add in a big adventure or love elements of a love story, and there you have your conflict. Choose a beginning, middle, and end. See if you can add a twist, and remember to break expectations as much as possible for your audience. The next step of making a movie in a day is shoot in sequence. The first step that you're going to do is you're going to get the people together that you're working with, and you're going to cast the characters, the locations, and the crew. Basic crew people that you're going to need is a camera operator, a microphone operator, and a lighting operator. Those can be all the same person. Now, the next thing is make diegetic choices. Now, what this means is do as much as you can do in camera to save yourself time in post. Diegetic choices are maybe playing music from a cell phone off camera. If you want to play some music during a scene, you play that while you're shooting so you don't have to add it in post. Another great diegetic choice is to draw your titles, like your opening titles or your ending title credits, or perhaps your scene cards that name what scenes happen when in between your movie, if you're going to go with that style. Anything you're going to do with titling, you can do on a page, hand drawn, and then you just shoot the page in sequence. Now, this step is called shoot in sequence, which means you shoot the first scene first and the last scene last. And this will help you when you edit because you're not going to have to sift through a lot of different takes in different places. You're just going to work chronologically from the beginning to end. And that's going to save a lot of time in post. Now, the last thing that I want to encourage you to do in this step of shooting in sequence when you make your movie is to shoot only 1 or 2 takes. This is going to help you save a lot of time because you're not going to be going through a lot of different takes. way you do this is by practicing the scene first and then rolling camera. Don't roll on rehearsals. If you do that, you're going to have a lot of garbage to sift through. What I do is I make it a rule on set, and everybody knows the rule, that once they do a successful rehearsal with no mistakes, then we roll camera. And that usually helps us do the whole scene in only one take, sometimes two if there's a problem, or if we come up with a new creative choice. If we do that, even after we get the first take, then we rehearse it. Any new changes gets rehearsed, and if it's done successfully, then we roll camera. It's much better to save time on set and doing less takes than it is to have a bunch of garbage to look through in the editing room. Now, here's some hot tips for production. Use a microphone. This is going to make it sound a lot better than if you use an internal mic on your DSLR or your cell phone or your iPad or whatever camera that you choose to use. Any camera is fine because remember, content is king. But it sure helps to have good technology to support the content. It makes it a better listening and viewing experience. So use the best camera you have available and the best microphone that you can get. Also, another hot tip, use a tripod. This is going to make things really stable and create a great viewing experience for your audience. Just trust me on this one. Use a tripod whenever you can. And my last tip, and this is a great directing principle, is break expectations as much as possible. What that means is set up your expectations with your audience, their expectations of what they're watching, with the camera choice, with your panning and what you reveal, your tilting, or with your character choice and their delivery of their imaginary life. You're going to set up suspense, set up an expectation of what's going to happen next, and then break it. Break it as much as possible. And when you do that, what you're going to create is lean in. People are going to be entertained by that in two ways. They're either going to laugh or they're going to follow your story. If it's a comedy, they're going to laugh. And if it's drama, they're going to just follow your story. If you don't break expectations, they're going to lean out. So that's called the arc. And you got to break your expectation as much as possible so you can continue building the arc and building the train of your entertainment piece. And if you break your expectations, people are going to really enjoy it, and it'll be something you'll be proud of. And if you don't, you'll just have something that puts A to B, and it just won't be as great as it could be. Now, the final step is called finish your movie. And this means it's the power of commitment to complete it. No matter what happens, you've got to finish your story, or everything that you've worked on doesn't matter. If you don't export that MP4 at the end, everything you've done is for naught. Okay, this is a fairly simple process, but essentially when you have that footage in your editing software, you're going to edit the best takes together, you're going to put them in order, cinch up the ends, maybe do some L cuts so that the audio from one take L cuts into the next one. That makes it so that you kind of hear the next take before you cut over to it. That helps with engagement. That's a hot tip for you. Don't use too many crossfades, because crossfades is for things for passage of time, and if there isn't passage of time, it can be confusing. Also, don't crossfade from one close-up to a next close-up of a face, then that puts two faces on top of each other, and that's a big no-no in editing. Now, the next step is to add music. Make sure it's music that doesn't have a vocal score to it, just orchestra or band or just simple instruments, and that's really going to help push your story along and create engagement. And if you have vocals in there, it will contrast the vocals in your dialogue. So try not to put vocals unless there is no talking, then you can have as much vocals as you want. The next step is to add titles, and if you shot those titles in camera, this step is going to be very easy, and if you didn't, then you've got some work to do. Might even double the amount of editing time you have when you add in graphics like this. So add in your titles. The final step is to export a .mp4. I find .mp4s are the best wrapper for videos at the end because they work great on mobile devices, on PC, Android, and with Macs, and they work great on both platforms and with televisions. I find when you put an MP4 on a flash drive and put that into our modern TVs, that it usually plays without any problems. But if it's .mov or a .whatever, something else, it won't work as seamlessly. The final step is to host a screening. Get everybody together and watch it as a group. Don't just post it online or send it to people to their phones and a text message, things like that, because people are busy. And I think that your creativity, your hard work, you making a movie deserves to be seen in real time and space with you if you can be there. And that way you will feel the rewards of showing your film to your family and loved ones. So host a screening and do it in real time. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you loved my tips on how to make a movie in a day, I hope that you can send this video to somebody that you think would inspire them to make a movie in a day. And then I hope everybody can paste their link to their movie in the comments below so that we can all watch our movie in a day videos together and check it out and appreciate each other's work. Now, would you like to see the film that we made today? Go ahead and check it out. Right over here, here's the link, and you can press play on that. Don't worry, I'll wait here. You can just click that link. Oh, don't forget to like and subscribe down below, and we can be friends, and you can get my videos, notifications of my videos whenever they come out in real time. If you love entry-level filmmaking tips and tricks and even business ideas on how to run a video production business, you're gonna love some of my other videos. Go ahead and click that link and you can watch the exciting film that we made today. It's pretty cool. We used a lot of Legos, a lot of great voices, some fun music, a lot of high energy. I'll wait. Alright. That's enough waiting. If you haven't clicked now, you're not going to. Thanks so much. I'm Buffo with the Filmmaker's Lifestyle. I hope you will get to make a movie in a day.